What do we do if there is a power outage? What about all the food that maybe is in the refrigerator, in the freezer, food that might spoil? What about maybe a medical device? Maybe somebody's reliant upon something that requires power. What about going online? Checking the news, the TV, the radio, the air conditioning. It's hot outside. The heater, it's cold outside. How do we power all these things? Well, the way you do it is with a next generation power station. Not a typical older style gas generator that requires gasoline, maybe a hand crank, fumes, noise, mess. This is from EcoFlow, a brand that is pioneering this state-of-the-art next generation power station, and this is easy and simple power for every one of us. If you live in an apartment or a condo, obviously you can't have a traditional gas generator. This is ideal for you. But for any one of us in any house in America, this will provide that backup power that we need. Tonight we've got a couple offers, big savings, absolutely, for National Preparedness Month. There is without the solar panel or with the solar panel. Just to explain the difference, if you get the solar panel, this answers the age-old question of, look, if you had an old gas generator and it ran out of gas, how'd you get it working again? Well, you add more gas. If this runs out of power, you could take it outside and charge it with the rays of the sun. That is free, sustainable power. On and on and on. Now, it's not just for emergencies, it's about those good times. It's the outdoor events, it's going camping, it's doing anything your heart desires, because now you can have power on the go. You can charge up to 13 devices. You've got USB-A and USB-C compatibility and so much more. Traditional outlets that we are very familiar with, so again, extremely user-friendly for sure. I want to just give you a kind of guide on the pricing, because if you do it without the solar panel, it's coming in at $749.99, down from $1,100. So if you do it without the solar panel, you're saving around $350. If you do it with the solar panel, it's only $100 more, so it's $849. Normal price would be $1,500. So I don't want to play favorites, but I've done a lot of these shows and I've never seen such a dramatic difference. I mean, maybe to paint the picture, if you go to hsn.com right now, you can buy the solar panel by itself. The regular price of the solar panel is $400, $399. I think they might have it on special today at $300, but still, $300 or $400. If you do our bundle, you're only paying $100 for it. So it really makes a lot of sense. You're more than welcome to check out maybe some comparisons online. I know our team are trying to get the full graphics for you from hsn.com, but you'll certainly be able to see it as well. All right, without further ado, we're gonna kind of dive into this and spend a little bit of time here so you can understand what this is, what it can do, and maybe why it's the right choice for you. Throughout the presentation, I'll always try and remind you of FlexPay, because FlexPay is the easiest way to pay, especially when it's a considered purchase like this. FlexPay is available on the with solar panel for $170 or without for $150. If you use your HSN credit card, your QVC card, or your Zulily card, you can do 18-month VIP financing, and that brings the price down really affordably to $41 and $47 respectively. And heck, if you don't have one of those cards, you should apply. You're gonna find something you like today, I know it. You can save $10 off any single item purchase. In fact, I need to ask my friend, Justin Hyatt is here. Justin, I thought I heard something outside there. Did you hear a rumble?
Well, you know, you never know when that storm's gonna come, right, Adam?
Oh, there you go.
Perfect timing. And by perfect timing, if you read the reviews, what makes this a customer pick, Adam, is that you see exactly in one of the reviews, it says, we got this just at the perfect time because literally 2 days after getting it, we lost power in one of the biggest storms in Tennessee. So this could be you. Have you ever been sitting at home and wondering, okay, if I was to lose power right now, how am I going to have power? And we love to talk to a lot of you who live in those apartments or condos, because if you're thinking power, you're thinking gas generator, you're thinking propane generator. Well, now we've got something called a power station, or a solar generator that's only going to weigh roughly about 25 pounds. It's going to be able to power about 80% of your home appliances, and we're doing it inside. So that's the nice part about picking up any EcoFlow brand. And I don't like to use the terms of good, better, and best, because Adam, with every single size that we offer, they are all perfect for the amount of power that they give, the value that we're giving as well, because this one also includes the 110 watt solar panel, which we'll talk about in a second. But with all those lights going out, here's how easy and simple it is to use, because this is the big part about having a solar generator, is how simple it is. There's nothing to be, scared about using this. There's nothing to worry about. All you need is to turn it on. So in that power outage, you've got your power station on. And what we're not going to be doing is we're not going to have to worry about grabbing any gas. We're not going to have to worry about grabbing any oil. And all of a sudden, now all of our lights start to come on. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull the cable right here. We're going to plug the lights on in behind my bed. So this is the other thing. Remember when I was saying this is not gas or oil, which means there's no toxic fumes. I can use this literally in my bed, right next to my bed. In fact, if you were to have a CPAP machine, here's one way that you could use yours every single day, because this is going to act like an emergency power source. So when we lose power, you'll notice, obviously, we're not losing power. But if you have your CPAP machine plugged into your EcoFlow, and then your EcoFlow plugged into the wall, it will know that you've lost power, and in 20 milliseconds, continue to power up anything that you've got plugged into it. So now I've got my lights powered, I've got my fan powered up, I've got my CPAP running, and I want to show you, when I talk about simplicity, Adam, this is the functionality of it. We make it easy, so when you're going to look at the display, it's going to tell you exactly how much time. We've got 15, 16 hours with all of our lights, with our CPAP, with our fan, and we're doing it indoors. We're going to show you a list of all the things that it can power. When we come back, I want to show you the one ways that you can actually stay warm, but we've got a variety of things that you can plug into this and the ways that you can recharge it. So we're talking full-size refrigerators. We're talking microwaves. We're talking, as I was talking about, medical devices. So CPAP, television, entertainment, but of course for all those emergencies. And then just size, Adam. The size of this one is what made this so key and so popular here, was that it's the great size for portability, but still great manageable size to be able to move around and still have to power the majority of our home appliances.
And it's interesting that Justin says that, because a lot of us here backstage were saying the same thing earlier. At around 30 pounds, with the helper handles that you see either side, this really is a portable power solution. It can go wherever you need it to go in the house. Some of them are bigger and obviously therefore heavier. Some of them are smaller, but not quite as powerful. This really does hit that sweet spot. Having backup power isn't a luxury. It's really a necessity. We got to have it. It's what plan we've got in place to provide that power. We always obviously talk about gas generators because it's what we're used to. Such a thing as this didn't really exist 5 years ago, not certainly for household use. Now, EcoFlow are pioneering in ways that I don't think anybody saw coming, especially at these more affordable price points. A gas generator can be several thousands of dollars, obviously. This is easy, user-friendly, simple, and obviously perfect to use in any situation. The solar panel does come included for just $100 more. Typically that solar panel costs $400. If you do it as part of the panel, it's only $100, as part of the bundle rather, it's only $100 more. So I really recommend that. That's what I've got at home. That's what I would recommend you get. But it just gives you free power forever. You never worry about how you're going to charge it up or how you'll have ongoing power. You'll be able to sustain power eternally because you've got the solar panel. So with that being said, this month, we talk about national preparedness. We talk about that sense of security. Justin, Allison, and I, during our today's special, we're talking about all of the recent events, natural disasters. It's a really big deal, right? I mean, you got to think of these things because in so many ways, it's not a case of if, but when.
Yeah, well, I think that's life. We always need to be prepared. As we've seen in the past hour, it's about being prepared for food. We never know when, what we've recently seen exactly what can happen as far as, supply chain issues and being able to have food. We always want to have food, but one way that you need to have something else to be able to cook that food is with power. And so what we've done is we've given you the ability to have power in all those different places that you've typically never been able to have power in manageable power. Something safe. One touch of a button to turn the unit on, one touch of a button to turn the unit off. We got a beautiful beautiful display to show you every bit of information. We've got all the USB ports. We've got 13 different ports for you to plug in your phones, your tablets, and that's not just for entertainment. It is great for the entertainment aspect to take it with you, but of course, communication. When we want to watch the storms, one of the main things that we're looking at is we're looking at our phones. So we want to still be able to charge all of our phones. We're able to do that very easily on the very front. We're showing you that display again. You know, that's not something that comes typical with a lot of these other solar generator brands. We give you more information than most. We're the fastest recharge rate in the whole entire industry, so you'll be able to know that when you plug this in, it's going to blow the competition away. It's going to be able to recharge not only by AC, but DC as well, which we also give you that extra cable. So if you want to be able to plug this into your vehicle, that's just a second option. And of course, the third option being solar. And we're seeing just the growth of solar and battery and just the evolution there. So it's really created this whole third kind of category, and that's solar generators. And that brings us to EcoFlow. And that's what's become so popular because it's something that now, again, it's simple and safe to use. Now, when we come back, I want to show you just the portability aspect. I'm going to walk into the kitchen because we were just talking about cooking food. I do have a heating blanket, which I do want to show you, because if you're thinking about winter time, you want to stay warm, plug your heating blanket in. It's showing me right now. I got that powered up. I'll just turn this up just a little bit up to high, and this will kick in. So it's showing me about 140 watts, roughly about 7 hours. Well, it's jumping roughly about 7 to 8 hours. We'll be able to power up our heating blanket. So that's nice to know. Now, okay, we went in our bedroom. Now we're going to leave our bedroom, but remember, it's got those two carrying handles, and when we come over here, I'll give you a bit of a better tour, but it's nice to know that it's manageable power and still enough power that it's going to deliver to be able to power all of those home appliances, like your refrigerator, like your microwave. So we want to keep that food cool. How are we going to be able to do it? Well, it's just as simple as plugging it in. I'm going to set that right here. I'm going to walk over to the microwave and to the refrigerator. So two of the big appliances that we have that we typically use every single day. Of course, in an emergency, we want to make sure that our food stays cool. After 4 hours, refrigerator starts to warm up. We want to make sure that that doesn't happen, especially if you have any medicine in your refrigerator as well. So, okay, we're sitting there. Again, that pit in our stomach, all of a sudden the lights start to go out. How simple would it be to know that we've got our power station, our EcoFlow, one touch of a button to turn it on. I'm going to turn the AC button on the back right here so I can plug everything in. Our lamp now starts to light up. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug in my refrigerator in the back, and I'll show you these ports in just a second. But I'm going to plug that refrigerator in. We're going to have power here in just a second. And that took how long? No time at all. And then the other thing I want to show you is on the very front right here, it's going to show me exactly how long I'll be able to run that refrigerator for, roughly about 34 hours without that compressor running. But it's not just using our refrigerator. Now we'll be able to also use our microwave, which I'll plug into the back as well, because eventually we're going to want to be able to cook some of that cold food. I'll plug this in, turn this on, and now we've got a microwave running. It's going to jump all the way up to roughly about nearly 1,700 watts of power. This is not something that comes typical with any of these solar generators. We built and designed this one specifically for our HSN customers to give you that power, give you that value, and then remember, when this depletes, now all we've got to do is get it connected to our solar panel and start charging it up for free, infinitely, with the sun.
These are such fabulous demonstrations and really bring to life how quick and effective and ideal this is, right? That's what EcoFlow is all about. We always talk about camping and we talk about tailgating or having a good time with friends and family outdoors. In any scenario, you want portable power. Well, now you can have it. Maybe it's to power a projector or a TV or a radio, whatever it may be. That's it. As Justin takes us on a tour of the house, you realize, yeah, if it's cold outside, being able to power that heated electric blanket for several hours is important to stay warm. Maybe it's going to be the CPAP machine or a nebulizer. Maybe it's the refrigerator. Perhaps there's some medicine in the refrigerator that needs to stay cold. Well, what do we do if the power goes out for several hours? You know, whenever there is a power outage and the lights cut out, you kind of stop for a second, you wait for a beat, and it doesn't come on, and then you get up and you go look out the window. What's happening at the neighbor's house? Is their power out? Are the street lights out? And you start kind of thinking, well, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, how long is it going to be? And there's an amount of time that's okay, but after you get to, 20, 30, 40 minutes, you start to get a little panicky. You won't have that feeling anymore because you'll have EcoFlow. So if it is more than just a few minutes, you'll be able to power the most important devices in your home. Maybe it's the television. Well, let's watch TV in a power outage. We can do that with this. Maybe it's going to be keeping cool with a fan or a heater to keep warm. That's what this is able to do. This isn't the type of product that you're buying regularly. It's not something that you buy today and then come back and buy another one next year and next year. Once you've bought one, well, you've got one. Again, check that off the list. The reason to buy it tonight is because HSN is putting forward a big deal for National Preparedness Month. So just to kind of highlight again, most of the time with different EcoFlow models, they can be up to $3,000. We're tonight, fabulous pricing. The one with the solar panel would normally be $1,500. So with the solar panel, it's normally $1,500. If you order it tonight, it's $850. So a significant saving of $650. So that's a lot of money shaved off the top. If you go for just the EcoFlow, that would mean no solar panel. Well, you could do, if you prefer to do that, that's totally fine. The normal price would be $1,100. If you order it tonight, it's $750, saving you $350. I'm not good at math, but clearly the better value is the solar panel bundle because it's only $100 more, but you're saving nearly double the amount versus the other option. So that's what I would guide you towards and what I would steer you towards. As you listen to Justin take us through things, please understand you do not need to pay the full amount of money tonight. Absolutely not. This is where HSN comes into its own because we have FlexPay. And FlexPay is where we take the price and we split it up. So if you look at the price of $849.99, if we spread that over 5 months, 5 flexible payments, 5 easy payments, that works out to be $170 a month. Simple, easier, much more affordable. If you do it without the solar panel, that breaks down to just $150 a month. Whichever way you play it, there's certainly ways to be able to afford it tonight. Again, Justin, this isn't in so many ways a negotiable item. It's a must-have for every family in America.
Just as we were talking food and water and all of those types of necessities, power is a necessity, and especially if you're dependent on power for a medical device or cooking food like we were just talking about. So I want to give you a tour because I know we're talking about all the things that you can plug in. Well, how do you plug it in? So we're showing you the front, we're showing you the display. This is the simplicity aspect that I keep referring to because, again, it's just one touch of a button to turn this unit on and one touch of a button to turn the unit off. So you don't have to worry about a pull crank. You don't have to worry about that gas and oil and then thinking about all the different type of maintenance that you would need for a gas generator. Think about how loud that gas generator might be or propane generator and all the things that you need to store for that, the things that can go wrong with the generator. Now, if you have one, great. This is why I love the size of the Delta 1000 is because this is portable power where you can literally take this anywhere you want to go. If you want to take this as what I've done, Adam, is take it to the pickleball court for a perfect fan while we're out in the sun. So we've got the display in the front, we've got the USB ports. I do want to show you the very back. This is where we're going to be able to plug all of those different appliances in. So we've got 6 different AC outlets right here. So this is where I'm going to be plugging in my light, where I'm going to be able to plug in my little hot plate. So remember, high wattage appliances, yet this is still one of the just flagship models with the Delta. So I'm going to turn this to the side. When I plug everything in, again, think about the simplicity. You lose power, not only just kind of sitting there thinking about what's our plan, this is your plan now. So we've got a light, we're not sitting in the dark. I'm gonna go ahead and plug in my little hot plate. So now I've got a hot plate and a light, and I plugged it all right here with really no hassle. And then again, remember on the very front, we're gonna show you the display now because it's gonna show you the amount of wattage and then it's gonna show you the amount of time. So roughly about 45 minutes we'll be able to actually cook with that hot plate. But then when I unplug that hot plate, what you'll see with just a light, it's gonna all of a sudden change that time. So now we've got roughly about 75 hours that we can be able to run just an LED light. So simple to know exactly how much time we've got, and then I can carry this with me to room, and if I needed to, Adam, just use an extension cord for the very back right here. To be able to recharge it, this panel right here on the side is where we plug it into the wall, and remember, the fastest recharge rate in the industry. And then that little yellow port right here is where we're gonna actually plug it into our solar. So once we plug it into our solar panel, panel, then we've got free power to recharge it. And right there, we're showing you the multiple different ways to recharge it and the time in which it would take. So roughly about a little over an hour and a half from 0 all the way to 100%. If you were to even kind of shop around, Adam, and look for the competitors, most of them are roughly about average about 7 to 8 hours. We are an hour and a half. That just goes to show you where we are as a brand, EcoFlow, and what you're picking up with the EcoFlow Delta 1000.
It's really interesting if you kind of, being here at HSN, and every year, every month, there's always new products, and some stick around and some don't stick around, right? It's just the nature of things. EcoFlow has stuck around. I mean, if you were to kind of look back over the past 2 to 4 years, EcoFlow has made a tremendous name for itself. It's one of our biggest and most successful and most highly reviewed brands. Talk about multi-award winning and really leading the industry. That's what EcoFlow has done for sure. If you place your order tonight, there's a couple things you might want to consider. One of them is HSN Protection Plus. It's a way to protect any investment, especially when it's something of this value. Hassle-free, no deductibles, because we teamed up with Allstate. So certainly ask about HSN Protection Plus. The other question we're getting asked about is VIP financing. To be clear, VIP financing is for anybody that has an HSN branded credit card, a QVC branded credit card, or a Zulily credit card. If you've got one of those, you can do 18 months to pay it off with no interest as long as the balance is paid in full. And that brings the price down to $41 or $47 respectively, depending on which bundle you buy. It is, as the theme of the night has been, a sense of security for you and your family, wherever you may live. Power outages are all too commonplace. Wherever you may live, it's something which I think we've all been affected by. Again, maybe it's just a simple storm, or maybe it's something more critical. Having power means that you can get online. It means that the modem and router works. It means that you can get access and information and email, get the TV working to see what the local news is saying. It means we've got access to potentially life-saving products, medical devices. Let's get that refrigerator full size working. We can with EcoFlow, right? That's what you're able to do. Now, make no mistake, you can buy smaller, less powerful power stations for less money, but those power stations are typically just to power things like your phone or your tablet, not a full-size refrigerator. That's where this comes in. So as you look at it and you think about it, today we've kind of taken away all the barriers to make this more affordable. Obviously, saving up to $650 is really impressive. Getting free shipping and handling on something that weighs over 30 pounds is really special as well. And if free shipping is something you always look for, make sure you check out hsn.com, because there's over 2,500 items, specifically electronics this month, where you can take advantage of free shipping. The nice thing though, Justin, is that with this particular Delta, because of the handles, because of the portability, it really is portable power.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's exactly what this is. And that's why when I say, I'm very hesitant to use the good, better, best, especially with us, with EcoFlow, because we build something, a model for every size and pack as much power into that size as we can. So when you're looking at this, still manageable power, a little over 30 pounds, but something that can power your refrigerator, like you were saying, your microwave, and then manageable power that you know that you can take with you and walk outside. So this is really the ease of use, like I keep mentioning. I know I keep saying ease of use, but that's one of the things that you're gonna love about this, because now we're just gonna take this outside, and then when we take it outside, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna simply set it up right here by our solar panel. So I've got some stuff that I got out here. So I talked about a fan. I use that at pickleball court, or maybe it's just being able to have a fan outside, because we know the summertime is just absolutely brutal. And speaking of heat, Adam, what the weather's doing, especially with the heat, is knocking out a lot of power. We're seeing, especially in California, a lot of those kind of rolling blackouts that are intentional. They're saying we're going to be shutting down the grid for a little bit. Well, you don't have to be out of power. And especially those of you who live in an apartment or condo, and I always mention to you, because if you live in an apartment or condo, you can't own a gas or propane generator. So I'm just like you. I'm sitting there and I'm waiting. Well, I don't have to sit and wait anymore. I've got my power, and I also don't have to sit and wait for the power to come back on, because now I've got my solar panel. I'm just gonna go ahead and plug it right here, and if we were actually outdoors and had some sun right now, the sun right here being absorbed by our solar panel will now be recharging our Delta. So we're not using gas, we're using infinite power with the sun, and then we can actually have even more solar panels to charge this faster. But one of the things I really do love about having a power station is that after I get it connected to the solar panel, now it's a solar generator. So I've got 110 watts. Let's just say that my Delta is completely full, and I just want to be outdoors with it. Well, here's how you can use it. Now, let's just say it's at 100%. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and plug in my big fan right here in the back where I've got those AC outlets. And then when I do this, now I'm going to turn that on and that fan on really quickly. The fan's on. Okay, so now it's showing me the fan is roughly about 90 watts, a big fan. It's on high. This is a 110 watt solar panel. I could be running this basically all day while the sun's out without depleting the power from my power station. So think about those things that you can plug in while the sun's out, and now you've got a source of power that you can have at night and then recharge it the next day. So Adam, whatever you were saying, you know, whatever it might be, medical devices and so forth, the size of this and what you're not having to worry about with gas and propane makes this such an advantage for so many of you.
Everything in the world of technology evolves, right? But it's just so typical in our minds that when we think generators, we don't think of this. When we think generators, we think of really expensive, like multi-thousands of dollars. And we think of something that's bigger and not so user-friendly, a bit more intimidating. Maybe there's a crank you have to pull. Maybe it's gas. Maybe it's propane. You know, just a couple months ago, we were talking about the dramatic rise in gas costs and how realistically that gas generator is not as attractive in any way, shape, or form as it used to be. Well, gas generators, like cell phones, like televisions, have changed. And now everybody's looking towards this style of generator. Justin, it's a whole different ball game. It's a new day in this kind of marketplace. Well,
it's a whole new market. You know, we've seen the evolution of this market, and it's because of a demand. We've seen what happens when we're out of power, because like we keep mentioning, it's just a matter of when we're going to be out of power and why. We're seeing the whys change all the time because the heat's so high that the AC units are overriding the whole entire power grid. So whatever it might be, and wherever you might be in the whole entire country, if you're wanting to have that extra power for that just-in-case moment, and you want something that's simple and easy without having to worry about the fear aspect of how am I going to use it? Can I use it? Do I need gas? What kind of home do I live in? This is a way for all of you to finally feel independent and have that power. And then we talk about just the growing category of just even solar panels and what that can do with our batteries. So having the sustainable power, knowing that it doesn't mean I have to go camping to feel like I'm off the grid. If you lose power, hey, we're all off the grid and we're all in the same boat. But you don't have to have that same experience as everybody else does because they don't have power. You will have your power, and then you will have an ability to be able to recharge it even when you're still out of power because you've got your solar panel.
The solar panel has really become a mainstay with this configuration, with this offer. We always find that people want the solar panel. The research is that people like you, me, and Justin appreciate the convenience and that peace of mind of knowing that I can recharge my EcoFlow anytime, always, because of the rays of the sun. So we're not reliant on anything else. We know the sun's going to rise tomorrow morning, God willing, and this will obviously power your EcoFlow. Just to put it in perspective, that is a $400 solar panel, $400. If you buy it tonight with a bundle, it's $100. So $400 normally. If you just want to buy the solar panel by itself, you can do that. I think they've put it on the special tonight. Yeah, they did. So $400, they took it down to $300, so $100 off. But take that down to $100 if you're buying it with the bundle. So clearly it makes a lot of sense tonight to order your brand new EcoFlow with the solar panel, doing the FlexPay, and we'll get it sent straight out to you. I think so much, there's been so much disruption over the past couple of years. There seems to be more stuff going on than there ever has been, and I think it's more in the forefront of our minds. Little things like having food and water in the last hour and power. It's just an obvious, yes, we got to do this.
Well, yeah, I think we finally have kind of realized there's not only do we need to do it, There's the easy way to do it now. So whether you work from home or not, you know, it's the simplicity aspect like I keep mentioning, which is when you get this at home, there's no more worrying, what do I have to do to maintain this? What do I have to do when I do lose power? You know, is that fear moment of, you know, of course I'm gonna lose power, but when it does happen, Adam, you know, all I need to do is take this out of the closet.
Yes.
And plug things in.
Yes.
You know, when we have the other options that we always mention of gas and propane, one, we gotta make sure it runs, which is sometimes not the easiest. It can be very laboring. And two, we need to make sure we have the things that make it run, gas and propane. And those are not sustainable, right? Eventually we will run out of gas and or propane. And in an emergency, those are sometimes, unfortunately, the first things that go is gas and propane. So how much can you store? Do you live in that type of home? And when we're talking about even just work from home, you know, the entertainment aspect of knowing we can still recharge all of our electronics, our phones, our tablets. But how about the big stuff? You know, even our television. So it's fun to know that we can take this anywhere we want, right? We can take that television now outside or tailgating, right? Football just started tonight. Maybe we just want to know that since we work from home, there's never going to be a moment in time where we say, I'm out of power, I can't make that meeting, I can't make that call. So we're showing you right now we can have our router connected, we can have our cell phones and our iPads, because in that emergency, what you'll notice is all of these different things that we got plugged in are going to continue to power up. So imagine this being your home and or apartment. If you were to lose power, would you even notice? Maybe not, because if you have all of these different things plugged in, they're not going to be affected by that power outage. And the big television is also behind us, is also connected to our power station. So I was talking about how you can turn it on. Just one touch of a button. Now we can see with the laptop recharging, our iPad and our phone, our TV, and some of our lights, we've got about 12 to 13 hours that we can run all of this. So that's going to make us all the way through the night, and then the next day, that's where the sustainability aspect is. When the sun finally comes out the next day, then we take our unit outside and then we recharge it via the sun. And if you do have power, the nice part is when you plug it into the AC outlet, it's the fastest in the whole entire industry, just from 0 to 100% in an hour and a half, when typically a lot of the competitors take roughly 7 hours. So it's not just an hour to 2 hour difference. It is a huge gap when it comes to our brand EcoFlow.
And that recharge is such a significant point that often gets overlooked, and I'm thrilled that Justin kind of brings it up. That recharge rate, which is best in the industry, is really something significant. When it's out of power, to recharge it, it takes a fraction of the time compared to other brands in the market, which is a reason why EcoFlow has carved out the reputation that it has as the real pioneers in this field. We are already nearly towards the end of our presentation. We have about 25 minutes left. If you order it tonight, you're in, you're safe, secure. This was a special deal they did for today, really in conjunction with our today's special from Augustin Farms, as we think about being prepared for any eventuality. Having power, as we are learning throughout this hour, really is something so important. Justin just mentioned maybe working from home, or perhaps schooling from home, maybe an online educational course that you're doing. Maybe you run a business from home yourself. And having power is key to running that business, right? Well, this will make sure that you can sustain that power, sustain that business, sustain that school day if you have your EcoFlow. The capacity is phenomenal. What it is able to power and able to really, really keep going for several hours is astonishing. We're talking full-size appliances in many cases. So this one, again, this one being the Delta 1000, is a particular customer favorite, because unlike some of the other models that are upwards of $3,000, this is a little bit more affordable. Remember, normally this would be $1,500. The fact that you're getting it at $850, you're spending $850, but really you're getting $1,500 worth of value there. And obviously the saving equals over $600. You've got the free shipping and handling, which is significant. So with that being said, if you'd like to start placing your orders, we would love to see you shop with us tonight. It's 1:33 here on the East Coast on HSN. We were doing the math, you know, with the solar, we're looking at 40% off, more than that, more than 40. I think it's 44% off. So we've really tried to make this an easy decision tonight. And again, once you've got it, you're done. We don't need to think about it again. Remember all the things that Justin's sharing with us, so if you need it, when you need it, if you need it, you know how to use it. But the support that EcoFlow gives you, the customer service that EcoFlow gives you is really second to none. So let's kind of refresh and reset. Justin, at any time, at any point, it might be day, it might be night, the power can all of a sudden go out, right?
Yeah, well, like you said, it's 1:30 in the morning. So, of course, it makes sense for us to kind of take you into the bedroom and let you know that at any given time during the day, you're sitting there in bed. We want to know that we can still be able to plug in all of those different things that we've got around us. So, for instance, we're probably thinking we don't want to be sitting in a dark bedroom. We want to get the lights going. Then if you're thinking, well, I'm trying to get to bed, I want to make sure that I get some more lights, but I also want to be able to power a fan. We keep talking about weather and just the heat that's happening right now during the summertime. Having a fan next to you now becomes truly essential, just like power, food. We need to make sure that we keep our body cool as well. And of course, the medical devices, you read the customer pick reviews that we have on the Delta 1000, talks about our CPAP and oxygen machine. So you'll be able to run all of this. You don't have to worry about guessing. On our display, with one touch of a button, it's saying 22 hours with our fan and all of our lights and our CPAP running right now. So if those are just some of the essential things that you're thinking while you're lying in bed and watching us right now, or maybe you're about to go to bed at some point, just to know that, because it doesn't matter where you live. You take this out of your closet, just a little over 30 pounds with those carrying handles, put it right here next to your bed, and you can use it inside. And that's one of the biggest things, is it's safe to use indoors. So this opens the door, essentially, for any of you who are watching right now wondering, if I lose power right now, like we have, how am I going to power all of the things around me? This is going to power 80% of your home appliances, and it's simple and easy to use, like we were just showing you. I'm going to unplug everything. I want to turn the lights back on because I want to show you. It's year-round and for years to come, because it's not just about staying cool. Eventually, it is going to start to cool down outdoors. We want to be able to plug everything in like a heating blanket, for instance. So if we want to stay warm, I'm going to plug in my heating blanket, and then with my heating blanket, I'll turn this around and I'll show you really quickly that display. I'm going to make sure that the heating blanket is on. So if we're wanting to figure out a way to stay warm during the winter time, here we have a heating blanket. Now the heating blanket kind of jumps a little bit in its wattage, so it's saying roughly about, I would say, 10 hours at 145 watts. You'll see the wattage kind of jumping up and down. But roughly about 9 to 10 hours that I'll be able to use my heating blanket. And then remember, now I get to take this outdoors the next day, if you're picking up this one that includes the solar panel, and then recharge it via the sun. And remember, like I said, God willing, the sun comes out tomorrow, well then that's your easy way to recharge it. And then if you do have power, you plug it into the AC. If you already have a gas generator, propane generator, perfect, because maybe instead of using that gas or propane generator all the time throughout the day, use it to recharge your Delta 1000, and then you can use your Delta 1000 to power all the other things in your home, like your lights and all the other stuff during the nighttime, because in HOAs after 10 p.m., you can't use a gas generator. If you want to go camping and RVing at some point in the future, well, guess what? You can't use a gas generator because it's too loud. This is silent, safe to use indoors because there's no toxic fumes, and it's just so easy with just one touch of a button, Adam, to turn it on and off.
Just then, when Justin, you said so silent, I mean, that's a big thing. You have to compare this to a typical gas generator. When that thing kicks in, you hear it, you know it's on. With this, it's whisper quiet. This might be sat beside your bed, powering your electric heated blanket. You wouldn't even know it's on. That's the joy of modern technology, the genius of EcoFlow's technology. Best in class, fastest recharge rate, easiest to use, most bang for your buck, and a big offer for National Preparedness Month. That's what September is about. From rolling blackouts to winter storms to any type of natural disaster, if you've ever been affected by one, or you know somebody that has, you know it's very, very unsettling in so many respects. Having power go out really is the pinnacle, because we rely on power for everything. Everything is power. The lights, power. The refrigerator, power. The TV, the computer, power. Everything's about power. What do you do about recharging the phone if there's no power? Well, this gives us the power, potentially life-saving power, potentially life-sustaining power. And it does it at a price that is more affordable today than it has been in the past. Down from $1,500 to $850 if you choose the bundle that includes that solar panel. So a really wonderful, wonderful opportunity to take advantage, because that solar panel by itself is normally $400. If you buy it tonight with a bundle, it's $100. Obviously, we have a lot of people starting to check out now as it's getting late. It's becoming, getting to the end of our show. If you'd like to order yours, you can call us on the toll-free number or go to hsn.com. If you do call us or go to hsn.com, you might be asked if you'd like to add HSN Protection Plus to your order. Just to kind of clarify what that is, we teamed up with Allstate to give you a hassle-free protection, 24/7 customer service, and no deductibles. So if something were to go wrong with your EcoFlow, they would repair or replace it for you. It's a very small amount of money to protect what is really a sizable investment. But again, to stress, this is something just in that for all of us, most of us, any of us watching, perhaps it's only a one-time in a lifetime purchase. And again, once you've got it, you're good to go.
Yeah, what we mean by that too is, nothing residual that you're continuing to have to pay for, because if you're picking up the unit itself, plus you're picking up the solar panel, essentially you're picking up gasoline for the rest of the life of your unit, right? Because you're never having to worry about using gas to fill this up to run it. This is gonna run off of the sun and off of obviously electricity. So if you need to plug it into a gas generator at some point, great. But when you plug it into the wall, fastest recharge rate in the whole entire industry. When you plug it into your solar, that's how you're going to be able to use just the power of the sun. And that's why we're saying infinite amount of power by plugging it into the sun, because when you plug it into the sun now, or excuse me, into the solar panel, using the power of the sun to recharge it. Now think about the sustainability aspect of that. If we're off the grid or we're out of power for more than a week, well, how much gas did we store? How much gas can you store? Sometimes they kind of limit you in those emergencies. I grew up in South Florida, I can tell you, they'll limit you to how much gas you can leave with. So eventually at some point, if we're out for 2 weeks, which has happened to us, Adam, we need to figure out another way to have power. This could just be that great secondary way for you to have power and then continue to know I can use the power of the sun to recharge the unit itself. Now, what are we going to need? All the different essential things that we've got right here in the kitchen. How about a light for when that moment happens where all of a sudden the power goes out and that pit in our stomach happens and we're thinking, what are we going to do? Well, if you've got your EcoFlow, there's no reason to panic. We just simply plug everything in, and now we've got light. And then maybe at some point we're going to want to plug in a hot plate because we're going to want to cook some of that food. Of course, our TS is going to be just about having food for those emergency situations. So we've got our hot plate running and a fan, and we can run that for roughly about an hour to be able to cook that food. So that's just goes to show you, Adam, the size of this, still being able to power a high wattage appliance. We'll turn that display on for you. That's something that's unheard of. This is something that we've never been able to do with a unit this size, but it just goes to show you it still has that capability. So I'm going to unplug this. I'm going to move over here to the big stuff, our refrigerator. When we're thinking about being out of power, and one of our biggest appliances, of course, is going to be our refrigerator. So how nice would it be when you're sitting there right now, you're watching us and that storm hits, to just be able to plug the refrigerator in? Because when that power hits, or power outage hits, now how nice would it be to know I just have to plug my refrigerator in. I don't have to worry about the gas. I don't have to worry about the propane. So we'll be able to run this refrigerator. I'm going to close the refrigerator really quickly. I'm going to plug this lamp in so we've got some light so we're not sitting here in the dark. And then what I want to show you is that display, because now there's no guessing. It's saying the refrigerator and the light's pulling roughly about 32 watts. That's going to give us, and that's not saying 34 minutes, that's saying 34 hours. And something that weighs a little over 30 pounds, and again, does not need the gas, that does not need the propane, that's completely silent, something that's not scary to use, that I don't have to worry about the pull crank in an emergency. And now, what I want to show you is I can still use high wattage appliance to be able to cook. Of course, you do have to plug the microwave in, Adam. You didn't give me that heads up. That's the one part in the manual. You got to make sure you plug the stuff in before you power it. Okay. Our microwave, we're going to show you roughly almost 1,700 watts of power, almost 1,700 watts of power. Power stations, Adam, at this size, and not even close to this value, used to only go up to 500 watts. Yeah. We're at nearly 2,000 running a microwave, our refrigerator, and our light. and we still have the sustainability with our solar panel.
There's been so much in terms of advancement over the past couple of years. It really is remarkable. This type of technology a couple of years ago would be multiple thousands of dollars for in-home use. You're getting it tonight for $750 or $850. $850 is going to include the solar panel that's going to give you ongoing sustainable power just from the rays of the sun. It's what most people are shopping for tonight because it represents the biggest value, the biggest savings for sure. Once you've got this, look, we'll take it out and about. We'll have fun with it. We might take it to the beach to power a picnic on the beach, a party on the beach, a celebration, a get-together, an outdoor gathering, a family reunion, camping, fishing, RVing, tailgating. So many reasons to use it and to make use of it. But on that day, on that night, when the power goes out, and we want to make sure that we can keep living normally, right? Because that's the whole point. When the power goes out, nothing feels normal, right? This is normal because the lights are on, everything's working, the TV's on. But when the power goes out, it doesn't feel normal. Having EcoFlow makes it normal again because we're powering all the things in our home that we need to get powered. So a couple things in terms of payment. If you use the HSN credit card, Zulily credit card, or QVC credit card, we're all part of the same company, the same big family. You can use any of those 3 credit cards to do VIP financing. VIP financing is very simple. They take the cost, which is $850 or $750, and spread it over 18 months. There is no interest on that money at all if you pay it or paid it off by the end of the 18 months. So that's a really great way to shop. If you don't have an HSN credit card, you can always apply for one, and if you apply for one, you can take $10 off tonight. But other than that, you can use any credit card. If you've got a Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, whatever credit card you have, use it to shop tonight, and it means that we'll take a payment, so either $150 or $170 off the credit card plus tax, and then we send this right out to you. These are in stock. It's not on extended delivery. We have them available now to ship out to you. And the next month, another payment comes off your credit card of the same amount of money. But there's no, again, extra cost to doing that. You could pay for it all up front right now or spread it out over the 5-month flex pay, and we're all paying the same amount of money. So we love that about HSN. And a purchase like this, it feels good to make it a little bit more accessible and a little bit more affordable in these crazy times. So savings upon savings, flex pay is there, every reason to shop. We have around 10 minutes left tonight. So obviously this would be a wonderful moment for you to kind of say, okay, I'll do it, I'll get it. We have a lot of great products from EcoFlow on the network, but Justin, as we kind of started the show by saying, this one does seem to resonate for all the reasons we've described.
Well, you talked about accessibility. Yeah, I think that, not just as far as value, but just in size. If you're wanting to bring as much power as you can, but something that's manageable. Of course, there's power stations that we've got, models that we have that are 50 pounds, some of that are 100, this only weighing roughly about 30. This is the one, I'm not grabbing the 100-pound one typically to go to the pickleball court. This is the one that I'm gonna take outside to the, just to the backyard, or that I'm gonna take to the beach, like you said. So it's not all doom and gloom. This is the fun part about an investment like this. This is something where you can now take all of the different necessities like a fan outdoors. So just come with me. I wanna show you just how simple and easy it is to just carry anywhere you want. So whether it's kind of going outdoors to, like I said, have a fan or be able to just enjoy the great outdoors, okay? This is how nice it is to have power that's portable like this. And remember, if I was to have a gas generator out here, I'd have to be 20 feet away from my home. I probably wouldn't want to be standing right next to it because it'd be loud. It's putting off toxic fumes. And then eventually I'm gonna have to put more gas in it. So I brought it outdoors here. I've got my fan. Let me move the fan out of the way really quickly because I want to show you, as far as recharging goes, when I take this outside, this is just goes to show you how nice it is to know that when I need to recharge it, all I got to do is set my solar panel up, plug it in to my power station, and that's it. And you can have more solar panels connected to one another. In fact, up to 4 of them connected to power and recharge your power station even faster. So if you're already picking up the 110-watt solar panel, great. If you want to pick up more, highly recommend doing that. So now we're recharging. Okay, well, what if we're completely full? How nice is this, where if we've got, for instance, the fan, and we're thinking, again, the fun aspect of this. Just gonna go ahead and plug this right here into the very back. You'll see those 6 different AC outlets in the back. We also have a DC outlet as well. So now I'm recharging, but I can also, while recharging, I can simultaneously still run a fan outside. So if you're thinking, how am I gonna stay cool if I wanna just be able to sit outdoors? Or maybe there's a soccer game coming up and you're thinking, I'd love to be out there, but it's just too hot out. Something that just weighs a little over 30 pounds that you can take to the soccer field, to the football field, and now have that fan right next to you in that lawn chair or on the beach. And then if you need to use any power tools as well. Remember, this is probably going to be only the loudest thing that you're going to have, because remember, our power station's silent, but I can still run high wattage stuff like a high wattage drill. So if it's off the grid and I need to be able to have those power tools, if it's a down limb. So recharging while simultaneously still powering everything up. And I do want to mention with that fan running, now it's running on roughly about, this is the second setting, saying 70 watts. If this is full and I got a 110 watt solar panel, well, the sun now is going to turn this into a solar generator where the sun is literally powering the fan and not depleting the power from my power station. So many different ways to use it, fun, emergency, but so easy to use that you're going to find many other ways in your life that this is going to integrate and make it so much easier. And talk about peace of mind, Adam, and something only is 30 pounds. This is great.
And that's what so many people discuss on our website, hsn.com. When you read the reviews, you'll see actually on our graphics there's a little golden heart and it says customer pick. That means that people have gone online and left mostly really highly rated reviews, positive reviews. So not every product can be a customer pick. It's only those that achieve a certain standard. And that standard, that status, gives us confidence to know that you're buying a really well-received product that people love. Remember, the price of this tomorrow could be back up to normal at $1,500. That's the normal price, $1,499 with the solar panel. If you order it tonight, we are under $850. So it's not just like it's $10, $20, $30 off. It's $650 saving tonight. So as part of National Preparedness Month, as part of this big, big preparedness day that we're having, remember our today's special from August Farms, which is all about having great food available to eat for you and the whole family. This makes sense to offer a power solution as well, which is why the team decided to discount the EcoFlow down to a really phenomenal level. So we're excited about it. Soon you'll see our 4-minute clock appear on the screen, and when it does, it's time to obviously definitely start shopping. If you're up and about tomorrow, we have limited numbers of these. Obviously, sometimes on products we have several thousand. With a product like this that's $800 or $700, we don't have thousands and thousands, typically just a few hundred and that's it. But certainly I hope we've provoked maybe you into thinking about what would we do if. Because Justin, everything is fine and dandy until it happens to us, right?
Yeah, well, and that's when we start to think about it. And so what ends up happening is we're very reactionary to the way that we react to those situations. And, and so eventually we do pick up something that adds that extra power to our life, but certainly would have been nice to have it before we lost power. So when you're even reading those reviews, this being a customer pick, you'll see one of the ones that I love. It's somebody who was in Tennessee. They had just gotten this 2 days before they lost power. And that just goes to show you it's Murphy's Law. You know, you get this at home. Now you have been proactive just in case you lose power 2 days after getting it. You have that plan A or plan B, like I like to call it. And it's something that I also like to say is it's peace of mind to have something, but it's peace of mind to know that not only to have it, but that I can use it. And this is one of the reasons why the Delta is become so popular, is because it's just the form factor. It's the size that you're getting, the amount of power that we're giving you in the size that you're getting as well. And then of course the option that you can get the solar panel. And you really have 3 different ways that you can recharge it. So of course using the solar, of course with the AC, but we also do include the DC adapter. So if you want to use the DC adapter to bring this to your vehicle and recharge it that way, I just love knowing I've got more options, because you know, with a gas generator, you got one option. When you run out of gas, you have 0 options. So this gives you more options to be able to power all of those things up. And we're showing you how fast. And we always mention this because it's one of the biggest features is the fast recharge rate from 0 to 100 in a little over an hour and a half. That's unbelievable just in the market right now today. So when you start to shop around and you start to look at all of the differences, you'll notice why EcoFlow is just one of the top tier brands in this really booming category. And when I mentioned form factor, this is the flagship. This is that size that every one of you have loved because maybe the bigger one's just too big.
Yes.
And the smaller one's just maybe a little too small. We give you a size for every need that you have, and I truly believe this one is just kind of the Goldilocks. And I don't like to say good, better, best, but this really is a perfect size to just have that extra power for a little bit longer and something that's also still manageable in weight at a little over 30 pounds.
I mean, you know, EcoFlow do, to Justin's point, make several products, great products in their lineup. This particular model continues to be our best seller because it is right there, smack bang in the middle. It's the right amount of power delivering really what we need in our homes. It has all the latest upgrades, all the latest features, and tonight you're getting that obviously at a really special price. So with that being said, our clock is about to appear. We have 4 or 5 minutes left, and that is it before Justin and I say good night for the night. We talk about feeling prepared. We talk about power outages. We talk about sustaining a lifestyle, normality. When something out of the normal happens, it's unsettling, right? But so many of us rely upon things every day. Justin, it becomes second nature. We don't even think about it. Turning the TV on, turning the fan on, the refrigerator, the computer. It's all meaningless without power.
Well, and every day we have more of those things. More electronics, more TVs in more bedrooms, more little appliances that we have in the kitchen. So I do want to show you that big television behind us is actually being powered with an extension cord to our EcoFlow Delta 1000 that's just sitting right over here. So absolutely use an extension cord. You know, you don't have to really bring this to every single location in your home. Just use an extension cord and plug it in here. So we've got our laptop because you know what? Talk about you never know when it's going to happen. Did you notice the TV didn't go out? Did you notice that all of our electronics are still protected? In fact, one of the things I do want to mention, not only do we have the display, but you have more ports on this power station than you have on a typical generator, right? On a generator, sometimes you'll have 2 AC outlets. Do you ever see USB ports on your power station, on a generator? Not typically, but we're able to charge all of this, and it's saying 10 hours to 11 hours with our full-size television, recharging our iPad, our phone, our router, our light, and a full-size, what looks to be a 15 or 17-inch laptop. So if you work from home or you want to take all of these different things that we have truly as necessity type things in our home office, it's nice to know I can still power all those up. Now, not only is it nice to know that for a work type deal, but in an emergency, I want to know that I can have my phone charged for communication so I can see what's happening with the storm, so I can let everybody know that I'm okay, and I can do that multiple times over and then recharge this unit hundreds and hundreds of times, and then knowing I've got 3 options with the solar as well.
It's normality. Everything's working as it should. Everything's there as it should. If that power outage is more than just a few moments, a few minutes, we're going to reach for our EcoFlow. It doesn't need to live outside. It can be inside. It doesn't need gas or propane. It doesn't need any maintenance. It needs no maintenance. With this particular product, you can have it in any home in America, even in a condo or an apartment. The same can't be said for a gas generator. With this item, it's so simple to use. We got a lot of comments from a lot of people who said gas generators just don't do it for me. I don't like the look of them. I don't like how they operate. I'm concerned of how to use them effectively. Nobody is intimidated by this because EcoFlow knows it's people of all different ages that are going to be using this. They made it so user-friendly. It's about the struggling moments in life when we are in a situation where we need to respond to an emergency and we don't have power. And it's about those wonderful moments in life where maybe we're with the family and we're camping or we're taking the RV out. All of it is catered to by portable power, and that's what EcoFlow has been able to do. Justin, final words on our big deal. It's a big deal today.
It really is, and it's perfect timing because, you know, this is emergency preparedness. We want to be prepared. There's a lot of different ways to have power. If you're looking for the easiest way to have power that takes away the fear aspect, to know that this is power for everyone and every one of you can use it in any place that you live, then you're going to want to look into our EcoFlow brand, especially our Delta 1000, because this is going to power 80% of your home appliances, fastest recharge rate in the industry, one of the leaders in this whole new category of solar generators. Pick up the one if you can with the solar panel, because I got to tell you, that just really adds to the whole experience of knowing it's full circle now. Because if I'm still out of power for a couple of days, how am I going to recharge it? You're gonna love knowing when I plug that solar panel in, that's how I got the power to recharge it.
And the solar panel gives you that. That solar panel is normally $400. If you do it as part of the bundle tonight, it's just $100 extra. Justin, thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Great presentation as always.
Yes.
We'll see Justin throughout the day while ever supplies last. And if you want to see more about the products that Justin brings to us here from EcoFlow, you can always go online at hsn.com. If you go to hsn.com, you'll be able to see all the wonderful things that we have. Just type in keyword EcoFlow to find out more about it. But there's some really great opportunities there, that is for sure. Obviously, National Preparedness Month continues here in HSN with some really